What are some of the first things you guys remember when I said we were going to do something like this? Justin, does anything pop that you remember?
Well, when you originally first said that Paycheck was going to be coming over here for a music video, my first initial thoughts was, what the heck are we going to make over here, right?
Getting it. Look at this in here. What does everyone do on TikTok? Tell me you're a producer without telling me you're a producer.
And then instantly that first day, I was like, oh, okay.
And playback.
They put pressure on my craft, but it turned it to diamond.
Because me, when it came to music videos, it was always like, go to downtown Seattle, go in an alleyway, go to these locations. Instantly, when you were like, oh, they're coming here to do the music videos, I was like, okay, I'm curious to see what we're gonna do here. And it blew my mind with what we were able to accomplish in the proximity that we had.
I would take a view coming down on you.
Should we make this Dutch or just level this one, do you think?
Well, let's talk about day one, and there's actually an interesting piece to this whole thing, which is about 2 years ago when I started, when I really, pivoted and started the Doan Creative Agency, taking it from just a film production company into full-fledged, forward-facing agency. I'm promoting and putting videos out. That's how we got to know each other. Yes. Another person I got to know was Micah Aris.
That's it.
The music producer, and so we kept in touch, built a relationship just because I was posting videos and boosting videos and doing paid ads on videos to reach people. Ryan and Micah come out, but the other Micah, music producer, I had said, hey, why don't you come out too and stay in my guest house as well? Maybe there'd just be some synergy. Now, turns out it worked out way beyond my wildest dreams from a relationship standpoint. But what I think is fascinating is Micah Aris shows up and we turn the living room, dining room into a music studio.
Right now it's 80% do it for the song, 80% do it for the gram.
For a day and a half or so, he's making music, I'm working on music with him, and it just becomes a studio. To when Paycheck shows up, that's just kind of sitting there. It's there. He walks into that. And so it just so happened to be on day one, right? Friday, day one. We were going to do a music video for Forgive Me for My Honesty. I'd kind of mapped out 4 or 5 songs I was kind of hoping we could get through. But we were just sitting there and he kept telling me that he had a bunch of new songs. And then he said, oh, I should play you this one song. Look into the mirror and I see my vision clearly. So Micah Aris has his sound system set up. He plays the song, they play the track, and we were all like in that room like, dude, this track is banging. And this happens, and this is the thing that I sort of fight against the most. In my mind, I was like, we should shoot a music video for that song right here. He had just gotten out of the shower, had fresh clothes on, the kind of white and black, and he was sitting right in the chair naturally. There was like white and black curtains behind him, and the lighting looked like it. And I was looking at the scene going like, why can't this be a music video? And my mind says, well, it can't be a music video because we're just sitting here. I was like, no, what if this was the idea you came up with a month ago to have this room, this guest house type vibe? And like, it always seems like it matters if you somehow plan it and it's intentional. And I was like, why don't we just do that song right now? I was having this moment because with my good friend Propaganda, he came up to shoot a couple of music videos with me 7-8 years ago. And he had a song called, I think, Raise the Banner. And he was like, yo, D, this is the track. This gets people just lit at shows. We've been playing it. Now it's on the album. But then he got me the album, and he's coming up that day, and I keep hearing the first track on the album, which is Excellent.
That spirit realm had oceans. Excellent. That's what you should expect from us.
And it's not really a track. It's like an intro. I keep thinking, I think this is the best song on the album. And I know what artists think. They think like, well, that's not like the single. That's not the hit, right? Yeah. But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, then why'd you put it first? That's a whole other talk. But I was having this propaganda moment because when propaganda showed up, I said to him, we're like 25 minutes from the beach when I was in Cali. And I was like, hey, can we run to the beach really quick and do something for this song, Excellent? He was like, okay. No expectations. We drove to a spot, this cliff that I knew.
Start with me, my archery aims for the dark.
We did like 3 or 4 takes, had him walk around a little bit, come back. Then we came back and shot stuff for this other song. I never edited the footage of that other song. I just, that night I cut Excellent. To this day, it's his highest viewed music video. I'm having that vibe while I'm listening to a song I don't even know what it's called. I say, well, let's just do this song. And we're all there at that point. Do you have any recollection of what was going on at that point?
What I think is interesting kind of analogy to make is that first music video we shot where you kind of see the background studio setup. Right. It's kind of like breaking the fourth wall in music terms, right? I feel like that gives the audience kind of more of an appreciation for it, right? There's a time and place for it. And I think that particular music video, it's kind of like, hey, this is the way it's done. Here's the hustle that goes into doing it. Even if it's on an unconscious, it's like, I thought of it as like, this is kind of like a breaking of the fourth wall because you're telling the audience, hey, this is the way it's, you're showing them all your tools, right? You're, the hood of the car is wide open.
Wonder where I've been still. I don't let it faze me despite the fact I'm mental.
What were some of your thoughts?
Well, like we were in the container, so a lot of this actually I think is happening before we get there. And then when we get into the guest house, Justin and I, we bring our gear. And then there's always that moment whenever we go to any shoot at this point, I think, where there's that switch that turns on, where it's like, this is go mode. And so I'm seeing how great it looks, but I'm just thinking, I know D's got the shot that he wants. Let's get that set up. I know he wants Justin to get that number one, that A shot or whatever. What am I going to do? Where am I going to be? It was basically just a flood of like, let's get rolling then. Right. Like we're in this.
Right. And then he chopped the song down. He made it like a minute something. He's like, I'm going to call it Diamond.
Micah. I think I call it Diamond.
You're going to call it Diamond? Why?
Yeah. Pressure my crowd, but it turned into Diamond.
And he's like, let's go. And the first take, I just had him chill, like listen to the song like a wide master, eating munchies, right? Yeah.
They put pressure on my craft, but it turned into Diamond.
And it was like, cool. Then it was like, you know what, let's bring that camera up now. We stayed on that same lens. Mm-hmm. What lens was that? Was that the 24?
The 24, yeah.
Yeah, so we started with the 24 pulled back. We kept that 24 millimeters, brought it up. Him sitting there with the munchies.
Just catch people off guard.
When I first went in for that first music video shoot and that beat dropped, it started going, I was like,
we're in it.
Okay, I know who we're working with.
And for me, I was like, once he played that song, I was like, I want it. That's mine. Yeah. I want it. I want this song. Yeah. I want this track. Right. I will do. And I think that's that's the thing where I think that's what we do as an agency. We get jealous in that good kind of way, right? That like we think we can do the best with it, Right. Then we start, and then next thing you know, we're, all right, let's do a stand-up take. Let's do it by the speakers leaning over. Let's have you actually read the lyrics. Like now we're in the studio because Micah Aris is there. We have a studio that is set up. Now let's just go.
Looking to the stars, my career's in alignment. I am who I am, and I am where I want to be. Think I don't deserve it, just know I am where I ought to be.
And we do, maybe 3 or 4 takes, maybe 5 takes max. And I think we took a break. Yeah. We're all pumped up. Like, this is amazing. We're all amped up. Yeah. But that was not planned. And then we went up and we went and started editing. We went up into the container and we started editing right there.
So what did Paycheck think of your process? He was next to you, you were editing.
I think this work gets interesting.